But Dave, let's move on into a topic I know you want to talk about, but it's kind of a joint one. Our wet boys today, which are our dampest of dudes, soggiest of shooters, the moistest of men, and sometimes, not right now because our season's over, the mistiest of misses. These are our players of the game, Dave, our players of the day from the day before. This one's a weekend award, and this is kind of going into finals talk because I'm going to spoil it. All of our wet boys coming from the NBA today.
Yep.
There was a tie in our patron one because how it works is Dave gives one, I give one. The patrons at patreon.com/MVP vids, silver and above, get to vote. There was a tie between the person who won it and somebody from the NFL. And I personally made the decision, Dave, of I know that NFL player had a good week. Fuck that player. It's the NBA's turn. Today's the NBA's day. The last day the NBA could kind of rejoice in wet boydom before next season.
And it's our third topic of the day.
And it's our third. Well, technically, like the college football wasn't a real topic. It was like a little mini. It was a little mini one because I hate how we get to the end of the show where it's like we're so burnt out with the show. It's like fucking COVID, man. Like I want to do it.
I love that. That's the way we end every show, though. That's fine.
I will leave them to the end of the show. I didn't like. There was a part of me that's like, oh man, I don't want to end the day fucking yelling and screaming. But Dave, I will let you take it away. Who's your wet boy for October 12th?
I'm guessing LeBron James.
No, you got the other one. So 50-50 chance.
Anthony Davis.
You got Anthony Davis.
My only other guess was Rajon Rondo. It was one of those three guys. Apparently, I got Anthony Davis, who had a all right game, you could say. Really, only 19 points?
Yeah, only 19 points. I was surprised by that too.
Wait. Is that the 2-game average?
No, this is the last game.
Oh, well, Friday counts.
It does, but usually it's we take the last one and then
no. For the weekend, so, you gotta do the whole weekend.
The last time I summer.
You did a Mel Kiper there. Like,
Dave, no. And here's where I come into it. The last time I took an average,
yeah.
The debate was, oh well, those stats don't seem that impressive.
Well, I think each week we just gotta cater to whatever we want the stats to tell. Either way,
you can talk about Game 5 too. It happened.
Anthony Davis is a wet boy. He and LeBron James combined to be the only two players in NBA history to score 25 points a game average, while putting up, I want to say, over 50% field goal percentage from the field in that series in the final. So incredible fucking numbers from Anthony Davis. Offensively, the dude just soaks points. I don't think he ever missed a free throw in the entire finals or maybe the playoffs.
He did.
I know the finals for sure.
Did he? I think he did. I'm gonna fact check you there.
He missed in the finals?
I think he missed in the last game. I'll check it. I'll check it.
Well, he missed a free throw. He was like 25 of 25 last I saw.
Yeah, I'm gonna check
I just naturally assumed he's just gonna keep killing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check. So, I know LeBron didn't do well from the line yesterday.
LeBron never does well from the line.
Yeah,
LeBron's a choker.
80 went 5 of 7 from the line last night.
2 fucking misses. How dare he?
How dare he miss free throws, Dave?
I'll say it. In the other games, I don't think he missed a single fucking free throw.
I'm gonna check. In the finals, he went free throw. Yeah, the last game was he went 100, 100, 100, 100, and then 71.4.
Yeah, he was perfect from the line. That was the whole stipulation going into the last game. I was like, fuck. If AD keeps getting to the line, you can't stop this team. But yeah, no, he had phenomenal series, great defense, good offense. I mean, nothing to complain about. He's Anthony fucking Davis.
Yeah.
Now, do I think less of him because he got carried to a championship by LeBron James? Absolutely. Is he a top 5 player in the league? Absolutely not.
Oh,
That's where you get it.
I love the little bit of slight. 2 things about Anthony Davis.
It's straight up slight.
So 2 things about Anthony Davis. One, this is coming. So the reason why I picked, because Dave, you didn't give me a wet boy today. Because I'm like, okay, I'm assuming work is crazy for Dave. I'm assuming Dave is on the side of, I'm going to get Anthony Davis or LeBron, whatever the patrons don't pick.
Or Rondo.
Or Rondo. The reason why I chose Anthony Davis for you was Soapy, our boy here at MVP, sent me a message in the wee early hours of the morning, Dave, that said this. Also, I don't want to force you guys to talk about it, but if you guys could mention that AD in the finals was a part of the 50-40-90 club, I'd appreciate it. So that was one to where I'm like, okay, I guess we'll talk about it. You're not forcing us to do anything. It's a nice little stat thing. There was also a second reason. Oh, the second reason was, and I've got to pull it up on my Twitter here, Dave, is I don't want to do this, but I totally want to do this, Dave. Let's see. Where's the person that said it? Basically, Anthony Davis's comments after the finals. Someone asked him about his free agency. I think Shams has it. Let's see.
I checked. Dwight Howard did just miss out on that club.
Mm-hmm.
His finals was 75, won 157. What a shame.
Okay.
What a shame. Just couldn't hit a couple free throws. Would have been in that amazingly elite club, an even more elite club, arguably. The 75-100 club. I mean, that's pretty fucking talented.
Oh, here it was. So this tweet was from Mark Medina. And it says, Anthony Davis on how he might handle his potential free agency. I have no idea. 80 then adds, I had a great time in LA this year. It's been nothing but joy and amazement. Over the next couple of months, we'll figure it out. I'm not 100% sure. And Dave, guess what Twitter world went off?
What's that?
Bulls Twitter, baby. He's coming home. He's coming home. He ain't staying in LA, Dave. He's coming home. No. He's going to be a Bull next year.
I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure there were a lot of comments said post-game, and I swear some of them were something like, the next couple of years are going to be like tough or something in the West. I don't know.
Yeah, I just found it funny that Bulls Twitter went off of like, he's coming home, guys. He's coming home.
There's no way he would come home. He literally said, I don't want to come play for Chicago.
Hey.
He's like, I will go to 29 other teams.
We're cleaning house, Dave. We're the new girl on the, we're the girl that was like, from your hometown, they were like, dude, I'd never date her. Then it's like a couple years, she cleans up and you're like, oh wow, I'm looking at her in a different light. That's us, Dave. That's us. We're cleaning house. We got a new coach, a new GM.
So he would leave the best team in the NBA playing with the best player in NBA history.
Hey. Crazier things have happened, Dave.
And be a middle team in the East and lose to Kevin Durant.
Or be a top team in the East and go to the finals. You never know. Weak East, Dave. You never know.
Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Giannis, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum. What part of weak East do you... Because it looks like the fucking East are the monsters.
I just love saying the term weak East because of the memes.
Yeah, it's a trigger word.
But Dave, my wet boy comes from the NBA, but he does not play in basketball games.
It's Adam Silver.
You want to know why, Dave? Goose egg. Fucking egg. 0 COVID cases in the bubble.
He deserves it.
What we're seeing in college, what we're seeing in baseball, what we're seeing in the NFL, Adam Silver goes, fuck y'all, best commissioner.
We could get him like a golden wet boy or some shit.
I mean, we could give him the golden wet boy that we only gave David Stern.
I mean, that was posthumously. I don't feel good about that then.
Do you want to give Adam Silver the golden wet boy? We can do it right now, Dave.
I might. Yeah, he saved basketball.
Fuck it. Golden wet boy then. 2 golden wet boys.
It's official.
Both NBA commissioners are now golden wet boys.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that because there's no way.
Did we technically give Kobe a golden wet boy too?
Might have. Sean and Kobe never really was a great subject.
No, we didn't because of the whole Sean thing with the Mamba mentality.
Yeah, Mamba mentality.
Yeah, that's why. That's why we didn't do it. I remember that now. I remember Sean not going off about it on the show, but I remember him after the show giving us the full rundown of why he does not.
He went off during the show a little bit.
But not the full thing.
Not the full.
Not the full thing. So, okay, the second golden wet boy officially done right now. Sorry, Adam Silver, your graphic then is not right. It should be a golden Adam Silver name at the top. And then Dave, the patrons went with that dude. Fucking 4 finals now. LeBron James. He's the one where it's like triple-double in the finals. And I will say this. I was absolutely correct on Friday to where I said that the Heat would come out in Game 5. They would win, which they did. And then we'd get fucking pissed off LeBron or pissed off Lakers. And the Lakers would end it when they did on Sunday. Dave, we'll get into the finals then as a whole. What's your thought now you've got to sleep on the fact that the Lakers are NBA champions this year?
You know what? It's probably the hardest finals victory in NBA history, you think?
Because of the season as a whole?
Because of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in context of the season, we've never seen players have to undergo the levels of stress and complication, the start, the stop, the conditioning, the health concerns. Like, I don't think we've ever seen a more challenging NBA finals in NBA history. So,
Well, not even to mention when the NBA stopped for a couple days. Right, like, was that during the playoffs? Yeah, right during the first round when the playoff paused for a couple days because of the basically the the racial injustice that we've had the Milwaukee Bucks basically say, no, fuck this, we ain't playing a game today, there's bigger things. So had to deal with a pandemic, had to deal with racial injustices and standing up for what you believe in, and then on top of everything, playing in a bubble and not basically being at home and everything would be normal.
Family and loved ones for 3 months. I mean, this has got to be the most difficult NBA finals in NBA history. You know, it's just it's an incredible feat what they did, and congratulations to them. And I know definitely a lot of shout outs to Kobe were done last night, and it's an awesome scene. The thing that kills me is, you know, it turned into a giant fucking party in downtown LA, and the police had to arrest like 75 people because they would not leave because nobody was wearing masks and people were celebrating, getting drunk, doing damage to vehicles and buildings. It's like, okay, we get it. We're thrilled for you, but
we're still in a pandemic, people.
Yeah, do you remember that we have a pandemic going on right now and that 215,000 people have died in the last 8 months?
Yeah.
It's a mixed feeling on that end. But again, incredibly thrilled for the Lakers. That roster was built by, no offense, scraps. It felt like scraps.
No, it was. It is. It's scraps.
A lot of people were taking knocks on the Clippers, being like, hey, look at that fucking team across town spending hundreds of millions of dollars overstuffing the roster. And we're the ones here at the end of the day holding the trophy. We've got an over-the-hill playoff Rondo who popped off for I don't know how many times in his career. It's just playoffs happen, playoff Rondo happened. Largest difference between his first ring and the second ring in NBA history. I think the first player to go Celtics to Lakers for a championship. Just so much about like what he did in that series and how much of a turnout he was for their playoff run. Because remember how bad they looked without Rondo? Yeah.
Well, and that was the whole thing of like, we were talking before the playoffs of what kind of Rondo were we going to get.
And it was playoff Rondo, baby. Fuck you haters.
There's only one thing that I kind of, because like you're right, this season has been a difficult season. It's been a very different season than what we're used to. There's a part of me that, like you mentioned, the Clippers, and there's a part of me that goes, I wish we would have been, like, credit to the Nuggets this year for what they did. Like, don't want to take respect away from them, but like, there's a part of me that's like, man, I wish we would have seen that Clipper Lakers series. Like, it felt like something we all wanted to see since the beginning of the year, and the Nuggets were like, nah, brah, we're here to ruin the plans. Credit to them for that. But like,
Kobe LeBron never happened, you know?
There's a part of me that thinks, and I thought about this as I laid down last night to go to sleep, of I'm glad the Heat didn't, like, I'm glad the Heat won game 5, because if it would have just ended in 5, I would have been like, well, this, like, I would have felt like, oh, well, this was a pointless finals, that it actually went to 6. But then there was a side of me that was like, the way yesterday's game ended, were like watching it along with you, where I was like flipping back and forth between Sunday Night Football, being like, oh, how many are they down again? Oh, still up 30, to where it's like, I almost had the thought of, would it have been better if the finals ended in game 5 with a pass out to Danny Green, hits the shot, to where it's like, damn, that was a close game and it ended on an epic moment, rather than X team won by 30 some points. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing where I'm just like, it's not me trying to weaken the championship, because you won. That's all I can say. You won the championship. That's the prize at the end.
Perhaps the most convincing way possible.
But like me fantasy booking, it's like
in the NBA.
Yeah, but it's like I I don't like seeing blowouts in the regular season. I like in the finals. It comes down to me. It's like, yes, the Heat were gassed. You could see that they were gassed. They were when they're not making free throws, they're gassed. To where I'm sitting there and I'm going, man, maybe like for me, maybe ending on an epic moment would have been like, all right, fucking like at least it ended in the most epic of ways rather than like, okay, 30-point victory.
I would have had to listen to the jerk off stories of LeBron had to pass it out to Danny Green to save his championship, just like Michael Jordan did, and all those fucking comparisons from these 60-year-old fucking basketball writers.
I mean, I
keep up with modern times, and I can't fucking stomach that narrative.
I saw that on Twitter.
30 points, no problem.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter, and even me in the Michael Jordan camp, Michael Jordan the GOAT, even me was like, you can't take that. Like, you can't fucking be like, oh, well, he's a worse basketball player because he had to pass to Danny Green. Because even from the last ride, there was a scene of like on the bench, Steve Kerr going to Michael, hey, I got this. Look for me. I'll be open. I got this. And what did Michael do? Boom, right off to Steve Kerr. Like, trust in the teammate. To me, the bigger issue that you should have had is fucking Morris twin out there, instead of looking to his right, seeing a wide open LeBron who could have taken a shot and maybe won it. Nah, I'm just going to haphazardly lob it into AD, who is being blanketed by Bam Adebayo. Like, that's the decision to me where it's like, I know it's a like quick decision, but like, oh, LeBron. Seems like a simple one to me. That's the guy you should be looking for when you're Markieff Morris with the ball.
No, nobody goes to Keith for the quick decision making, man. That's not exactly his forte.
Oh,
not concerned with that shit at all. But no, I don't care that it ended in a blowout. I think again, literally, we watched the best basketball. We watched the best team beat the second best team in the NBA. I think the NBA Finals actually got it right this year. It's just a fucking shame that Bam Adebayo had to play hurt. And it's a shame that Goran Dragic was playing hurt when he got back for, the 5 minutes of meaningful gameplay that he got in this game. Had we had a healthy Bam, had we had a healthy Goran, this series would have been different. I think after watching what we watched in Game 5, like, oh, this shit would have gone 7, 100%, and the Heat could have won it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind that when the series started, I was like, I understand that the Lakers are the better team, and they will win. But my heart of hearts, I want the Heat to win. And I was like, okay, about 80-20, Lakers are going to win this in my head. Now, after watching like a healthy game, if they had all been able to stay healthy, I'd be like, fuck, the Heat can fucking win this shit. I would have gone to like, honestly, like 55-45, Yeah. It really would have closed that gap out after seeing them play one game against them just to get bearings down. Like, okay, shit, they can handle the situation.
Yeah, for me, it was easy from the start. Like, my heart and even everything was just with the Heat, just because of the fact of what team they were going up against. To where it's like,
you voted out of hate.
Well, no, there are 3 teams. There are 3 teams in all of sports that if they are in the championship, I will be voting for whoever they play against. The Lakers are 1. The Yankees are 2. The Cowboys are 3. Like, those are it. Those are the 3 teams. If they are in a Super Bowl, if they are in a World Series, if they are in a finals, I don't care who's on the other side. I am going to be siding with that team just because, maybe it's a fact of, like, ever since I've been a kid, it's been, like, those 3 teams that are, like, the most popular. It was kind of like when we were a kid with Tom Brady, where it's like everyone was a Patriot fan when they started winning. To where I was like, every year I was like, fuck the Patriots. Hope the Panthers win. Hope the Eagles win. Hope they win. It was like, fuck, Tom Brady keeps winning. Tom Brady keeps winning. What is with this guy? The thing I love after the finals, although I would have been one of the people if I had the link to sign the petition to not get him a ring because I feel like he didn't deserve it. He got carried. Kyle Kuzma. We've made that joke. The thing I did love. The thing I did love in his post. Did you see what he said in his post postcard? Where he's like, what?
The shirtless post game.
Yeah, where he was like, to be honest, I'm like half drunk right now with all the champagne, so I don't really know how to act right now.
I'm happy for the kid. he got overhyped because he was from, you know, he got in there as a shooter, and that was everybody like hyped him up.
He wasn't Washington State, was he?
Where it's from. All I remember was he got talked up so high with Kuzma's the one we kept out of the AD trade because we knew that he was going to be the best player. Like, y'all are
Utah.
insane.
That's what he was, Utah. Clay was Washington State.
Okay. But no, I mean, I hated Kuz because of the Lakers fans who hyped Kuz to be like the next fucking scoring wing in the NBA. The next Carmelo Anthony, to be honest.
Plummer, don't speak that into existence. I don't want Kuz on the Bulls.
I don't
want Kuz on the Bulls.
He might be. Who knows? He could be our new starting small forward.
I don't want him. Also, the meme of the JR effect. JR no shirt, Kuz no shirt. Fucking
the celebration on the court, he was shirtless already. Yeah. Like, did he wear a jersey in that game? Can anybody confirm?
But it was like he had no shirt on. Caruso had no shirt on. Yeah. Dwight had no shirt on.
Dwight Howard get the championship. How awesome is that for him?
Dude, the thing also,
can we admit
what
greatest dagger in NBA history? What? Dwight Howard walk up 3-pointer to end the fucking game. Okay, there are 20 seconds left still, but. He walks up and just drains a 3.
I will say, although I did not want the Lakers to win the finals, although I wanted the Heat to win,
so many of their players.
The thing that made me actually cry was, did you see the IG story that Dwight put out?
No.
Where it was him and the trophy, and he's just sitting there holding it, and you could see he's crying, and he's like, you know, to all those kids out there and all those people right now that are like, you don't think it's ever going to happen. He goes, 15 years, damn it. 15 years. Don't give up because one day you're going to be there. And I was like, oh my God, Dwight, you're going to make me cry.
I love Dwight at this point in his career. Like, he has worked his ass off. He took a nothing contract to fucking earn it with this team. Like, could not say enough good things about him at this point in his career.
I do love Plummer, though. Why the hell is JR in front like he played a minute? LeBron wasn't going to let him play a minute because he knew what happened last time JR played.
Dion Waiters gets a ring.
Well, he was getting a ring either way.
Jared Dudley gets a ring.
Cousins is up for a ring.
Cousins. See, that's
Cousins is eligible. That's what Shams put out. He's eligible.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if he'll take it. We'll see.
Best moment of the celebration too. Quinn Cook being left at the bubble.
Left at the arena.
Had to comment on JR's story like, "Yo, turn the bus around. You left me at the bubble."
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it was a lot of great moments. A lot of great players. I'm glad they get their time to shine. Danny Green, though, I can guarantee you that man's never getting another big contract in his life. Like, I'll be surprised if he can make over $10 million. I think he's on a contract next year.
Back-to-back finals for Danny Green.
3 teams.
Well,
three teams,
not even that, just back-to-back. He was with the Raptors last year.
I know. I'm just saying 3 teams, 3 rings. He's the new Kawhi Leonard.
Well, so, can I get one thing off my chest, Dave? Am I
LeBron
allowed
James
to?
too, actually. LeBron James, 3 teams, 3 rings.
And that's
Danny Green, 3 rings.
And that's the thing I want to get off my chest really quickly is now, and actually Danny Green is a free agent this year.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, no one's going to pay him money.
Yeah, he was making 14 and then 15 mil this year.
Yeah, he's going to be making like 7 on a day. Yeah. He looked like ass when they needed him. He's just a street shooter. Defense went downhill too.
Here's the thing I want to get off my chest, and this is a really small one.
I'm gonna pick at it probably.
Well, it's like I've said before. I'm trying to be better with not being baited into conversations. Like when you were saying GOAT earlier, I'm like, not gonna touch it. Not gonna touch it. We believe different things. But there's one thing I keep seeing that I feel like should not be in a GOAT conversation. And that is the 3 titles with different teams for 2 reasons. One, because there are players like Danny Green. I think Rick Fox is one of them. Robert Ory, where it's usually it's like, okay, it's not that hard to do if you're like if you're a ring chaser. B, if you're just like one of those role players that bounces around to those good teams. And like the thing with LeBron, because that's the one I wanted to really touch on, the main reason is I feel like that should not be in the GOAT conversation.
Why not?
Because of the time periods. Like back in the 90s and even before the 90s, it wasn't really like guys weren't switching teams like they are now, where it was like usually you're drafted by a team, and that team, if you're good, is going to be able to keep you for as long as they can. And like, it's one of those things where we didn't really see the big names switch. Like LeBron pretty much started that, I would say, in the NBA. Like his decision was almost like oh shit, we can move if we're not happy. Like we can do that. And like player mobility is different now. And I'm not saying like player mobility is a bad thing. Don't put that in my mouth. I love what LeBron had done with although the decision was bad, what everything has done, like KD not being happy, being able to move. What Giannis is soon going to do, because he's not going to be happy with Milwaukee after next season, to where I feel like the time periods are different, where back then it wasn't common sense to move from team to team. And it was more so like a man, look at that. Like people looked at it as like, man, he stayed with this whole team, won them all with this one team. Good on you. Whereas now, because of we're in a player mobility era, it's looked on as not a bad thing anymore, but it shouldn't be looked on as a bad thing to a player from an older generation, because it was just different times. That's why I feel like it shouldn't matter in the GOAT discussion. Is it good? Is it cool? But like being on X amount of teams doesn't make you better than somebody else.
I would argue that one of LeBron's biggest impacts, the NBA, is the decision. Mm-hmm. I think that he changed the way players viewed their own value and understand how much loyalty is necessary to a team and an organization. Because
I agree.
Let's be honest, if they don't give you that, like if they're going to turn around and dump you the second you stop being great, why are you going out of your way to help this team out? You know, you're the commodity. You need to understand what your value is. And if you don't feel like you're being treated well, fuck them. Go somewhere else. Force their hand and get the fuck out of town. Like I think LeBron has done more for player. What's the word I'm looking for here? Like the players' union and the strength behind like what they can
player
do.
Life,
player empowerment.
Yeah, player empowerment.
I think LeBron's done more for player empowerment than anyone has in NBA history. Well, not anyone in NBA history, but I think he's one of the most interesting people as far as that goes. So I would say like I do still consider it a positive. I think that being able to do it on 3 different teams means that you have the ability to work with GMs in his case and rebuild the best team in the NBA 3 different times over.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how do you win with this guy? Okay, well, we put these guys in place. And what makes Michael Jordan special is they were able to take the core of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and go, how can we rotate a group of guys around them to continue to compete at the highest level?
Yeah.
And the pieces they interchanged, and we got to move on from Oakley. Let's bring in a new bruiser. We got to get a big man. We got to let's go get this European kid who everybody fucking hates because he's, the next coming, but he's not actually.
That Scotty and Michael in the Olympics were like, we're gonna show him.
We're just gonna make sure this kid hates life. That's our job, Oh, you think you're gonna come over and play for us? Fuck you. And like going to get Rodman, like all this shit where it's just like we understand that like the building blocks behind like how do you make the shit work? That's what's more interesting to me, and that's why I think I value it more, because I look at what LeBron James has done. I'm going, okay, they tried and failed in Cleveland, could not figure out how to get the best team surrounding LeBron James. They failed miserably. Fuck it, I'm gonna go down to Miami. We're gonna make this happen. We got Wade, we got me, we got Bosh. We've got one of the greatest 3-point shooters in NBA history, and Chris Allen, Ray Allen. Come on, Dave, Ray Allen.
Did you really say Chris Allen?
I said Chris Allen. I don't know why.
Chris Allen? I'm
like Kyle Allen would have been excusable. Chris Allen, not so much.
Chris Allen is a American musician.
Great. I'm totally thinking of that guy, I'm sure. Point being,
maybe
they were able to figure out what to do in a single offseason to set this team up to compete for championships. And then they do it again when he goes back to Cleveland. And then they do it again when he goes to the Lakers. And because of LeBron's power and control over what his teams do, I give him more value than those guys like Ori. I give him more value than those guys like any ring chaser, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But Danny Green's a great example. But I like the mercenary for hire, because I think Danny Green's more mercenary for hire than a ring chaser in my mind.
Yeah.
Like he was still, very valuable as a 3-and-D wing.
Like he's not J.R. Smith.
Like Spates at the end of their career.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, he's just there for the ring,
Yeah.
Shit like that. So
and I
think that's different because he has control. He has direct impact over who are the guys on the team around him.
Yeah.
And he did it 3 times in a row. And I'm not saying he gets 100% credit. GMs are worthless, but like, I think that being able to work with a front office to build a championship team 3 times is fucking incredible.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that's the thing where it's like, I agree with you, where you say what LeBron has done for player empowerment. That's what I was trying to get at, where it's like, he's kind of changed the game and he's changed the landscape of the NBA. And to what you were saying of it's impressive to be able to say, I'm going to call my shot 3 times and move. Like for me, it just comes down to a point of they were from different eras. Like you can say that LeBron doing that is impressive without bringing down Michael. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's my problem with it. It's like, all I've seen is, oh, look at LeBron's done this, Michael hasn't done that. It's like, yeah, but they were from 2 different NBAs.
Right.
Like,
no, I totally agree. They're different eras. Like the pre-2003 NBA is very different than post-2003.
Basically,
NBA.
right at like, we didn't see big stars start to move until like, because I was thinking about this today, like Patrick Ewing stayed. David Robinson, I believe, was one team. You have Michael Jordan. What?
Chuck moved.
Yeah, but Chuck was more of his personality. That's what I feel like.
Shaq moved?
That's what I was going to say. Shaq was the big one, where it was like, I feel like once Shaq moved, we started to see it a little bit more, but like we didn't see it as commonplace as we do now, where it's like back then if a star wasn't happy, it was like, well, are they going to trade him or is he just going to stay unhealthy? Like the whole Scottie Pippen thing, where it's like he's unhappy, wants to get traded. Well, we ain't going to move him. Okay, you're stuck here. Where nowadays it's like Giannis is not happy winning the rings. I'm not gonna say he's not happy in Milwaukee. I'm not gonna speak fakey news.
Yeah, Antetokounmpo won a ring.
Yeah, his brother won, which I don't know how that's sitting in the Antetokounmpo household.
I'm sure that thing's gonna get worn every single fucking day.
You know what I'm doing? I'm calling up Pelinka and Bus, and I'm saying if I'm Costa, hey, can I get one favor? Can I get Thanksgiving? Can I just get the trophy? LeBron, can I get the trophy that day? Just, hey guys, what I'm thankful for, and just put it right there on the table next to you. So Giannis, how have you been doing? Just start polishing it.
Yep. That'd be a good time.
Oh man, to me also, last thing before we move on into the NFL games, is it bad that because of this season and how it ended and the way it ended and everything, I cannot wait for next season even more? Because
I'm already hyped.
Because of the fact of like, did you see the post Jimmy Butler put out? Yes. Where it was a picture of the Heat and he's like, don't worry, like basically, don't worry, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Like this ain't the last time you're gonna see us. Like
you talked about the Dwight Instagram. Did you see the Spoelstra press conference?
No, I did not.
He literally gets up there, sits down, and is just crying. And he's just like, he keeps wiping away his tears from his eyes.
Because he's probably happy for LeBron. Part of it. And he's also sad that his team lost. But like, he is buddies with LeBron too. Like,
but he was proud of his guys and the job they did, overcoming as much adversity as they have this season. Yeah. And it was just like, that almost got me. Like I was like, fuck.
So
man, like you're such a good guy and like what you put out there. But yeah, you can't not root for the Heat again now.
So because the season's over, if there was a season award for worst tweet of 2020 in the NBA, would it be the Timberwolves are going to be bad this year, or the one about Jimmy Butler?
I think the Jimmy Butler one wins it because the 76ers are just idiots.
Yeah.
They made four wrong decisions.
Both
one
tweets are bad, though. Are bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cat, I mean, that one hurts, but is surprising to approximately 0 people outside of that team. Like, we all knew they sucked.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that they won some games early in the year is great for them, and we're all very proud of them. We'll put up their picture on the fridge with a magnet. It'll be right there for everybody to see. But look, let's wait for reality to kick the fucking door in. Now, meanwhile, you've got the 76ers who just fucking demolished their own future with 4 moves in a single offseason. 4 moves destroyed the process. And that's all it took.
Yeah.
And that's all it took. And talking shit to Jimmy Butler as a capper on that was just that's going to look bad real soon. And I didn't think it was going to be this year.
Yeah.
But it was.
There's one thought I have about next season, and it just kind of popped up into my head right now. If you are a person, because obviously about this season, there are 2 different people. There's the asterisk people, and there's the non-asterisk people.
Yep.
If you are a non-asterisk person for this basketball season, there is one finals matchup next year that you should be rooting against 110%, because I feel like it'd be the only finals matchup to basically give power to the, well, see, I told you so. Last year shouldn't, last year was an asterisk, and it's Warriors Nets. They are the 2 biggest what ifs for next season of they were both injured and kind of just took the year off. Did I expect the Warriors to do it? No. My Warriors hubris of being a bandwagon fan.
I think 4th seed the playoffs, maybe, in the prediction.
Did I?
Me?
I don't remember where I had them.
I had them not in the playoffs, and I ate a little bit of shit for that at the time. But about 4 weeks into the season, it was pretty damn clear that I was right.
I thought Clay was going to... I didn't think they were going to fucking tank for the fucking top 3. I thought that they would at least be in the playoff picture and going for it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that this year would have went in. Let's see. Predictions.
Clay got hurt early. Draymond can't do shit on his own. He's carried by 2 of the greatest shooters of all NBA time, all NBA history. So it just became very clear very early that team was just a dumpster.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, the fact that we're going to see a fully healthy Warriors team to start the season next year, potentially with a number 2 overall draft pick on that team added.
We're going to see how far KD can carry Kyrie.
Yep, that's the other thing. So both sides, we're going to have some amazing performances. But again, another testament to LeBron James. The greatest ability is availability. The man has been hurt once in 20 years. It's incredible. He's had 1 serious injury in 20 years, and that injury only took him out for a month, I want to say. So, fuck, man, that's the next level shit.
So this year, I'm looking at the right ones for our player rankings thing. The Jazz were the number 1 team, right? That was going into this year. Okay. Because we labeled it 2019, and I was like, where's 2020? But I guess at the time it was 2019. So
2019-20 season.
Our predictions at the beginning of the year, holy shit, are these wrong?
Pretty bad, right? Pretty bad.
So just number 1 seeds in the West. You had the Rockets, I had the Clippers, Sean had the Nuggets. Sean had the Lakers as the 2 seed. I had them as the 5th seed. You had them as the 4th seed. Dave had the Lakers losing in the Western Conference Finals to the Clippers. I had them losing in the 2nd round to the Clippers. Sean had them losing in the Western Conference Finals to the Trailblazers. Because that was his crazy theory.
Oh, that was this dumb...
Yeah. And you had the Clippers winning it all. I had the Warriors winning it all after being the 7th seed. I had the Warriors as a 7th seed going to the finals. Because I was like, dude, they're going to roar through these bad teams, man. And then Sean had the Trailblazers beat the Bucks. We all had the Bucks, but we did not have the Heat. Where did we have the Heat? You had them 7th. I had them 6th. Sean had them 8th.
Right.
You had them lose to the 76ers in the 1st round.
Yep.
Sean had them lose to the Bucks in the 1st round. I had them beat the 76ers in the 1st round, Suck it, Philly. And then had them lose to the Celtics in the second round. So yet again,
we were all wrong.
All wrong at the end of it.
We should have just taken the obvious one out and been like, yep, LeBron James wins his championship.
Hey, man, we didn't even think a pandemic was going to be a thing back then. Back then in October, November.